Okay, 13.2 areas of triangles and trapezoids. Okay, triangles equals half of a parallelogram. That's what they are. Triangles are half of a parallelogram.
Put two together, parallel.
Let me show you. So there is a parallelogram. If I were to cut it in half, you have two triangles. So triangles, each triangle is half of a parallelogram. Does that make sense? So the parallelogram formula is area equals base times height. We learned that yesterday. So to find the area of the whole parallelogram is just base times height, right? We learned that yesterday. Therefore, the area of a triangle is area equals half base times height. That makes sense. So if base times height, and y'all need, after you write this, you need to sit back and kind of pay attention. To get the area of a whole parallelogram is base times height, and a triangle is half of a parallelogram, then it's half the base times height. Does everyone see that?
Wait, can you multiply base times height and divide it by 2?
Absolutely. Good question. In fact, that's usually what I do. I do base times height and then divide it by 2. Or you can multiply by half, either way. And you know that B is your base, H is your height. Keep in mind, the height is the perpendicular. This got y'all yesterday, so I knew then that some of y'all weren't paying attention, just writing words down. Height is the perpendicular line drawn from one of angles to its opposite side. There's a perpendicular. Remember the height. That threw some of y'all off on figuring out what was it, the diagonal? Was it, what was the height yesterday? Only way you're going to learn that is by practicing on IXL. Okay. Don't forget notice that all of these are perpendicular. You have the little box. It's perpendicular. That is your height. This is your base. Okay? It's just like that. Your base and your height are perpendicular. That's the key word. You can also have look at that drawing. Emily, what is the base? Very good. Emily, what's the height? Well, you're asking. It is. It's 6. Notice the perpendicular lines. Y'all see that? 10, well, in this case, it's the hypotenuse. But it's neither the height or the base. So your height and base are going to be the perpendicular lines of the triangle.
Splitting triangle.
Izzy, what's the base? No. 4. What is the height, Izzy? It is 10. Guys, do you see the perpendicular lines? Right here and right here. Do y'all see that? You got to look for the perpendicular lines. And you can even turn it like this. If you're a visual person and you're having trouble with this, some of you are. Turn it to where it looks a little bit better. But notice how all 3 of these are different. But all of them are looking for the perpendicular lines. And that will tell you the base and the height. Look at this middle one. If I turn it like this, could the base be 6? Absolutely. The base could be 6 and 5 could be the height because it doesn't matter. They're perpendicular. Y'all see that? So what you're looking for when doing triangles is the perpendicular lines. And it doesn't matter, honestly, in all seriousness, it doesn't matter which is which in this case because you're just multiplying the 2. It's not like you have to do something special to the height that's different than the base. As long as you know the 2 numbers, all you're doing is multiplying them together and then basically multiplying by half or dividing by 2. So look for the perpendicular. Again, that was a kind of an issue yesterday, so I want to make sure. Now I'm about to throw you a wrench in all this. Just when you think you got it, sometimes you may see a height,
Outside of it.
yep, shown as such. Oops. There's no perpendicular there. Now I could draw one, but let's say your problem didn't do that. Those are dotted lines. In this case, this is your height, and this is your base right here. Now, you're not going to have to draw it yourself. Sometimes they'll just give you that. But I do want you to understand, I don't want you to get a problem like that. What the heck is this?
Triangles are definitely made up of more triangles.
When you're done writing this, put your pencil down so I know that you're done.
So sometimes it'll give you the dotted lines on the outside?
Yeah.
And then will it give you the height of the dotted line?
Well, yeah. That's the H just means
Oh.
the height. They won't tell you to figure it out. You're not done? Good? You got it? Okay. Alrighty. 2 trapezoids. 2 trapezoids we're talking about trapezoids by the way now, can make a parallelogram. Two trapezoids can make a parallelogram. Now, what was the formula for parallelogram?
A equals base times height.
Very good. Now, if I have a trapezoid, watch this. Shh, Taylor. This is my base 1, and here's my base 2. Now watch if I extend it. Doesn't that look like a parallelogram now?
Basically, like flat tires, except with triangles.
Okay, so look at it. This looks like a parallelogram, right? So to find the area of an entire parallelogram, it's base times height. But kind of like the triangle, therefore, we use the formula if just out of curiosity, if I extend this trapezoid to make it into a parallelogram and it's base times height, so a trapezoid is half of a parallelogram, what do you think the formula is going to be? Half, it's going to be similar to a triangle, but watch this. It's A equals 1/2 times B1 plus B2 times height. So B1 base 1 plus base 2 times your height and times half, or divided by 2. So write that down. You have it down? Okay. So these are trapezoids. Who's making the noise? I don't even need to ask, do I? All right, example. There's my trapezoid. Let's say I want to find the area of this whole trapezoid. You could even do the dotted line and have 2 triangles and then find the area of 2 triangles and then the square, right?
I didn't get that.
Look, if I were to dot this up right here, you would have 2 triangles and a square. So you could find the area of this triangle and this triangle and then the square and then just add them together. Okay.
You couldn't use the formula.
Right, but I'm just saying if you were sitting there saying, man, I don't even remember the formula. Well, it's okay. You could figure it out, but just based on this. You could still figure out the area with just giving this information. Okay, so the formula is area equals 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times height. What is base 1, Michaela?
13.
Okay, and it's okay. If she gets them confused, or if you get them confused, it's okay because you're just adding the 2. So if she wants to say 13, she can, but base 1 is typically 18, but again, it doesn't matter. And then base 2 is 13, and what's the height, Michaela?
8.
That's right.
Will base 1 always be the bigger number?
It doesn't really matter. In this case, it doesn't matter because you're just adding. So what's 18 plus 13? Anyone? 31. And kind of like Michael said, let's multiply the 2 together. And what do you get?
248.
And then half of that is 124 centimeters squared. It must be squared because we're dealing with area. So write that down, take it all in, and then ask questions if need be. Alright, everyone got it? Alright, next one. Or no, let's just go ahead and open up, do examples, page 551. Alright, number 2. Everyone there? 551? Alright, so in your book they have a drawing. Something like that. Alright. Cecilia, what's the formula to find the area of a trapezoid?
A equals 1/2 times B1 plus B2 times H.
Good. So in this case, what is the B1?
18,
Very good. What is the B2, Cecilia?
11, 10,
Okay. And what's the height?
11.
Very good. Does everyone see that? All right. 18 plus 10. Cecilia.
28.
And then times 11. So Cecilia, what is 28 times 11?
128. No. Really?
And then what is half of that? Meters what?
2.
Squared. Very good. Any questions? Okay, moving right along. Does everyone have this down? We'll wait till pencils are down, so that tells me. So when you're done, you make sure you put your pencil down. Joanne, when we're done, you have a textbook at the front desk you need to go get. All right. Okay, number 6. It says find the area of the following triangles. They give you base, it's 14 centimeters, and the height is 9 centimeters. Michael, what's the formula?
2 or half
Half
times base over height.
over height.
I mean, times base times height.
Half base times height. Okay, there you go. So let's start filling it in. 1/2 times, Michael, what's my base?
14 centimeters.
And what's my height?
It's 9 centimeters.
All right, Michael, do the math. And tell me what you get grand total.
Oh, like as my area?
Yeah.
Okay. Sixty-three centimeters squared.
Very good.
Miss Rogers,
Uh-huh.
how do we know whether to do this formula or the one that we just did?
Because one's a triangle, one's a trapezoid. Does that help?
6 is a triangle.
Well, read the directions.
Yeah, I know. That's it's this triangle.
Yeah.
Triangle formula for area.
Look. Triangle formula. And this is your trapezoid.
Oh,
Formula.
okay, we're doing like that.
Okay? Any questions?
6.
Y'all pretty much know how to do this? Let's look at 14.
Who's
It says find the area of the following colored regions. So they have something similar to this. Is that 4 centimeters in there? Yeah. All right. We gotta find the area of the shaded in region. So, wit. What do you see here?
A parallelogram and a triangle.
Excellent. You see a parrot. I want everyone to notice this. This right here is your parallelogram. Do y'all see that? This right here is a triangle. So if you break it down, find the area of the parallelogram and then find the area of the triangle, add the two together, you'll get the area of the whole thing. So, what is the formula for trying to find the area of a parallelogram?
A equals base times height.
That's right, because it's a parallelogram. And then what's the for the triangle?
A equals 1/2 times base times height.
Perfect. So we're going to do two different things. So width over here. What is the base?
15.
And what's the height?
9.
And I'm going to say it on time, I'm going to just tell you. It's 135 centimeters squared. So we have that one. So width what is the base here for the triangle?
15.
You're correct. I hope everyone sees that. If this is 15, this is as well. This is also 15. And what's the height?
4.
That's right. And to save on time, you get 30 centimeters squared. I want everyone to see that. Does everyone get what we're doing? So now we just add the two. 135 plus 30 and we get 165 centimeters squared for the whole thing. Does everyone get that? Good. I'm going to do one more and then I'm setting you free. Do y'all understand what we did? We identified two different shapes here. He found the area of the parallelogram. This is not a trapezoid, this is a parallelogram, so we used this formula. He solved it. Then he said, okay, this is a triangle. Here's the formula for that. Put in the information, solved it. Added the two together, and you get a grand total of all the area. Does that help? All right, does everyone have this down? All right, I'm turning this over. We're going to look at number 16, and then I'm setting it free. Because I think we've done enough examples. These are kind of weird. All right, 16. Oh, yeah. I'm going to attempt to draw this like in the book.
Just attempt.
Attempt. Ooh, can't draw a square. Gabby. This is the shaded part. But we have a part missing in the center, right? It's a triangle. So, Gabby, tell me what you think we're going to need to do. She's correct. I want to put that in writing. First, find area of trapezoid. That's this. She identified that it's not a parallelogram. This whole thing is a trapezoid. Second, find area of triangle. Because this is a triangle here in the middle. So even though this part's not shaded, you still are going to have to find the area of that triangle because you got to subtract it. So third, subtract the two. Perfect. I would need you all to write that down. So when you have a part that's missing, find the area of the whole thing, and then find the area of the part that's missing, and then just subtract the two.
Why wouldn't you add it? Because
This is missing. So it's like a donut hole. Does that help? That's a good question, though. Because even if you look at number 17, you're going to find the whole area and then subtract the part that's missing. And then that will tell you the area of the weird shape. All right, so, Gabby, what is my formula for a trapezoid? Very good. So step one, I have step one. So, Gabby, what is my base 1 and base 2? And what's my height? Very good. So what's 10 plus 8? And then what's... You go ahead and you finish it out. 18 times 7 divided by 2, or times half. Yeah.
It's 63 centimeters.
There you go. 63 centimeters squared. Okay, so that's for the trapezoid. Now, step 2 is find the area of a triangle. So what's that formula? Very good. So what is my base for the triangle? And what's my height? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? All right. So what is a half of 12? That's right. And then step 3 is you subtract the 2. So we have 63 centimeters squared minus 6 centimeters squared.
Why do you subtract?
Because this is missing. And we got the area of the whole thing, but now we got to remove this little piece here because we're just looking for the area around it. See what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Okay. So what do you get, Gabby? So the whole thing. Any questions?
Did you know that
Any questions about what we're doing?
Can I ask a question on another problem on the paper?
Okay.
On 17, would that shape be a trapezoid?
Or just a rectangle.
Like the colored in one?
Now, you look at the whole shape.
Okay.
You look at like this right here is a trapezoid, the whole thing. This one on the other one, the whole thing here, well, this was a parallelogram, and then we had the triangle. On number 17, look at the whole picture. Isn't it like a rectangle or a parallelogram, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is what you go by.
Okay.
Then you look at the part that's missing.
And then you subtract it.
That's right.
Okay.
Any other questions? These are good. All right, y'all are doing page 551 to 552. You're doing numbers. 1 through 27 odd. Now, 23 and 25 are going to be similar to yesterday, where they gave you the area, but they're missing like either the base or the height or something. So you got to try to solve that. Remember, isolating the variable. So this is due Wednesday. Don't forget you have a quiz Friday. Yep.